Hey Weirdos, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie Megan and this is Weirdo Book Club. I don't know about you, but November is a really big month for me. Both of my kids were born in November. This year I was asked to be a bridesmaid in one of my dear friends' weddings, and that's happening in November in just a couple days. And then there's the food. I'm not going to shout out the holiday because I don't like the holiday, but I wait all year for this food. And technically I could have this food whenever I wanted to. There's not like a limited window where I can eat Thanksgiving food and the stores don't sell this stuff, but I am lazy and I don't really know how to make most of it. And we can't all be as lucky as the people we're about to talk about, because in today's video, we will be discussing Full Sack by Layla Faye. Everybody's so creative. And speaking of talent and creativity, let's talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community with classes taught by creatives for creatives with a variety of subjects to choose from. From design and productivity to things like watercolor and even cooking, Skillshare can help you take your hobby skills or side hustles to the next level. For example, in order to get better at what I'm doing here, I've been taking the creative writing boot camp taught by Mila Goldberg, a self-described novelist, mammal, and concerned citizen. She must watch my videos. Her course will take you back to the basics of writing and teach you things like how to write engaging characters, how to write realistic sounding dialogue. And I personally have a list of people who could benefit from taking this class alone. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Find a cool class to explore and get to learn it. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and now back to the video. And what a video it will be. Okay, so disclaimers. I have them in every video. Some of them are really long, some of them are really short. This one is one of those. This review will contain spoilers, opinions, general shit talking, and silly goosery. You saw the cover, right? You heard the title. We're gonna get into some weird stuff. This is a weird book, and we're gonna, whatever. And by the time we get to the synopsis, you'll know if you want to opt out of this video or not. I suggest seeing it through because I like to have fun, and I feel like today's video is going to be a lot of fun. Full Sack is a 148-page paranormal holiday romance novella by Layla Faye. It was originally published November 7th, 2022. Wow, happy second birthday. What are the odds? And it is available on Kindle Unlimited, you lucky little ducks. KU is serving up a meal for you this holiday season. I would promise to stop with the food puns, but I try not to lie to you on this channel. I've never read anything by Layla Faye before. I know nothing about her or her body of work, though now that I've poked around a little bit, a picture is being painted. And it is quite a weird picture, but weird in a good way, I think, I hope, I pray. The synopsis reads, he can procure anything, his price to be paid on her knees. Right away, that's really rough. What, like, he can procure anything. That's pretty simple. His price will be paid. I just don't like it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Jesus Christ. When Jennifer's cat falls ill, her only chance to save him is to find Raccoon, the elusive dealer in all things rare or impossible. Some call him a wizard because Some call him a wizard because anything one asks for, he can give for a price. I don't like the way that this is written, but also a little too close to home with the sick kitty cat. It's causing me to have to think this through because honestly, what would I do if I could cure Beans of all his ailments with just dropping it down, throwing it back? I don't want to go down this road. This whole thing is really rough to read, which Jen is ready to pay. Raccoon's secret power is her only hope, so she will gladly take his magic wand in her mouth and do as he says. Except Raccoon doesn't want her to kneel and open up. Ugh. He wants to be Jen's date to her family's Thanksgiving. And Jennifer would rather choke on him and be done because if Raccoon keeps pushing, she might develop a case of feelings. Not feelings. He's just too perfect with that masculine physique, uncanny eyes, and a filthy mouth. Except Raccoon is not what he seems. And falling for a monster man with a sack full of magic is the last thing Jen needs. I feel like it's the last thing a lot of people need. Content note. Contains supernatural themes and ridiculous anatomy features as well as flavored cream. I desperately want it to be pine nut, but with our luck, it'll probably be gravy. Ugh. The thing that usually happens in the epilogue is part of the actual story, so beware. Read responsibly and don't try this at home. The thing that happens in the epilogue is part of the story. I don't know what that means. What usually happens in the epilogue? My imagination is sprinting away from me, and I'm afraid. So the synopsis was a lot to digest. You see what I did there. But the basic premise seems to be a virginal woman seeks a miracle cure for her terminally ill kitty cat named Mr. Pointy, which I hate. from a seedy man named Raccoon. He's some sort of a magical being. I have no idea what kind. It's unclear. I'm still not really sure. But he has a magical sack of some sort. And is he a raccoon? Is he just a human guy named Raccoon with one C? I can't wait to find out. The warning page reads, "This is a work of fiction portraying unrealistic, unbelievable, ridiculous, over-the-top events and anatomy features. At one point, food is produced magically in the male protagonist's ball sack and expelled through his magical peen. And then people eat that food. So run while you still can, because you will not be able to unread that scene." Might this book ruin the holiday food for me? It might. I am already pretty weird with food, but I am willing to do this for you, for us, really. Still here, I admire your courage and wish many steamy blessings upon you. Let's have some good laughs together. Spicy scene content: degradation, oral fur fetish, cherry popping, semi-public magic sack tricks, a toaster. Spicy scene content, a toaster. Let's just dig in. The dedication reads, "Dedicated to everyone who looks down on romance, because being the object of a dedication in a book called Full Sack Thanksgiving Erotica is the perfect karma payback." Touche, honestly. Full disclosure before I start doing this, I scripted half of this book, and then the other half I felt like we should experience together. So chapter 1, we start this journey with no specified POV, which leads me to believe that we're only sticking with one. Sweet. No need to unnecessarily complicate an already complicated situation book with maybe a raccoon, maybe human magic man with food in his sack. Jennifer and Mr. Pointy are walking down some seedy alleyway in search of Raccoon, and she notes how grimy it all is, and her cat's wailing in despair, but she's determined to find the infamous Raccoon, who can hopefully, for the small price of a blowy, save her terminally ill cat. She finally finds the door amidst all the grime and yuck. She knocks on it, and then she's flabbergasted. She is beside herself at how unprofessional he is when he yells at her after a few knocks that she can come in, it's open. Did you not just walk through the alleyway that we walked through? We were walking through that together. You were complaining the whole time. Why would this be a Saks Fifth Avenue office building tucked away in the back of a grimy alleyway where a man exchanges favors in order to provide magic, some sort of raccoon sack style wand? I don't know. There's a lot going on. This is a place of business. How rude. How rude. Her name is Jennifer, but I'd bet her middle name is Karen. Finally, though, she does walk in after, like I said, he yelled. She's like, "Am I really about to do this? I hope so. I am reading the book." She steels herself and goes inside. Upon seeing her in her little cat carrier, though, Raccoon speaks. "No resurrection jobs." Damn, okay, chill. The cat is not dead. She looks around the dark, dingy room and is like, "Why would you assume that that's what I'm here for?" And he says, "Because if someone brings a pet to me, it's always dead. No one's desperate enough to come here if it's just for a sliver of hope. So they wait until it's too late. I can't resurrect things, so leave now and I won't charge you for my time." It's giving Genie.
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
She's gagged at the whole thing and readjusts in her skimpy little dress that she wore just for this occasion. I feel like if it was a business transaction, and obviously you knew about that going in, you wouldn't need to dress the part. I would show up in sweats. I'd be like, "All right, we ready? You don't need to, this is a bit much." Her skimpy dress keeps riding up and her slutty shoes are pinching her toes. All of this is wackadoodle already, and we haven't even seen the sack yet. Before she can correct him about her cat actually being alive, Mr. Pointy does it for her and just lets out a row. Raccoon's eyes shot open and she recoiled. This is in third person? Okay. Raccoon's eyes shot open and she recoiled. She'd never seen such an eye color before. His irises were yellow, so yellow they glowed. So Raccoon is the yellow-eyed demon from Supernatural. Framed by long black eyelashes, they looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. "It's alive," he said, taking his feet off the desk. "That changes things. What do you need?" He's in. We're all in. Here's his descript. He's wearing black faded jeans and a light gray t-shirt that's molded to his frame. He took care of his body. She could see it at once. That I don't like that sentence, no. Muscular and lean, but not overdeveloped. His body could be considered ordinary for a man in his 30s who had time to work out. There were plenty of fit dudes running around the posh parts of the city. His face, though, it was utterly striking. It always is. The eyes shocked her with their unnatural color, which seemed too vivid and real to be achieved through colored lenses. They were slightly slanted, too. His skin was tanned, and in the gloom, it looked like a shade of light brown, though Jen suspected it would be lighter in daylight. Daylight, daylight, daylight. And then his lips, full but not too much. Just perfect, actually. Glad we got that out of the way. Shall we save the cat now? Damn. She stumbles through her words. The cat has cancer. It's inoperable. He's only 3 years old. Please help me. Why not give him a peaceful death and get a new cat? And woo, buddy. This is not what you say to a pet mom Karen who's willing to suck off a stranger to save her cat. And she agrees with me. She's livid. How could you? It can't just replace him. He has to be a complete psycho. She considers storming out, but she stays because she needs his help. And Raccoon asks if he can see the cat. She reluctantly opens the carrier, and Mr. Pointy just goes right to him, strolls right on over, purring all over him. Traitor. Traitor! This causes Raccoon to smile, which causes Jennifer to go, oh, mama, what a smile. Focus. Jennifer, this is supposed to be a business transaction. I understand. I don't really, because I have no clue, even with the description, what exactly I'm supposed to be looking at here. But this is supposed to be one and done, in and out. Like, chill. He approaches her and asks when the last time she sucked off a stranger was. She's like, never. He gets closer still and smiles, and then we get this. Oh, God. Raccoon chuckled and shook his head. Guess again. Okay, yeah, okay, sure. And then he slowly backs her up into a wall. Honestly, so far so good, right? I mean, her cat is terminally ill. She's willing to go to great lengths to save said cat. Dude has the magical touch. He agrees to help her. He's radiant like the sun when he smiles and points those yellow eyes her way. I got it. I hate that his name is Raccoon. I hate that the cat's name is Mr. Pointy. Chapter 2. So you put on this sleazy little thing, Raccoon said, his voice deep and sensuous like a purr. You put it on and came here, knowing full well you would have to in exchange for my help. And now that it's time for payment, you balk? Sweetheart, this isn't the place for blushing virgins. We do serious business here. Do ya? So she's nervous, dude. Chill. She just said she's never done something like this before. I would assume that in the shade of business that you're dealing in, you get a lot of these people who get stage fright or are nervous. This is dumb to say. But anyway, the virgin comment. She starts to be like, how did you know? But it's irrelevant. I'm here to save my cat. So he leans in and cups her face, and she whimpers, thinking to herself that she might enjoy this. He's kind of hot in an electric but terrifying sort of a way. I get it, except, again, I don't, because is this a human man? I'm having trouble grasping what we're dealing with here. Then he tells her that the price has changed. Suddenly, he doesn't want a blowy. Oh, no. Instead, he asks, it's Thanksgiving. I assume you're visiting your family today? Yeah, they live just outside the city, so I'm going. I was actually planning to get out of it, say I have COVID, because that's about the only thing that would accept as my reason not to come home. Why don't you want to go? He asks, his voice low and intimate. Jen could practically hear the sizzle. Her cheeks were so hot. I wish I knew what she was looking at, except for yellow eyes. I have no idea. But she's like, is it hot in here? I need some space. And he's like, you're in my power, you innocent blushing slut. Wow, buddy. You said you'll do anything, so I will talk this closely if I want to. She goes on to tell him that Thanksgivings at her house are usually horrible because everyone is eating and fighting the whole time, a literal nightmare. And to this, he's like, perfect. My price, sweetheart. I can't be with my family this year for Thanksgiving because everyone went to my brother's and I had to stay, but it's boring to sit here all day by myself, so take me to your family dinner today. Introduce me as your boyfriend. Let me have some fun, and in return, your cat will have a long, healthy life. I mean, done. I would do it. The aforementioned price point is a little above my pay grade, and so this is much better. Come to dinner. My family's a nightmare. You'll love it. But she's like, can I just blow you? This is weird. And he's like, maybe later, but definitely not part of the payment. Deal or no deal? She's like, deal. Defeated, but kind of horny for him too at the same time. I don't know really what's going on. They seal the deal with a kiss, and he tells her to pack up her cat and let's get going. Let's hit the road. She gathers him back into the carrier with no problems at all, so she asks Raccoon if he's some sort of cat whisperer on top of everything else. Raccoon hissed again, his eyes flashed as if with reflected light. For a moment, Jen thought she saw a shadow around his head, a hint of whiskers and pointy ears. She blinked and it was gone. Had she just imagined it? Was he with her head? Or was he really what people called him? An actual wizard? So a lot is going on in my head now. First of all, we have human man. Now we have wizard. Now we have a flash of whiskers and pointy ears, and his name is Raccoon. I don't know what we're dealing with. If he's actually a raccoon, I'm gonna be very upset. He's like, let's go right now. And she's like, no, I can't wear this to my family dinner. And he's like, if it was good enough for me, it's good enough for your family dinner. So shush. That is categorically false. My dude, I have dozens of items in my closet that are not appropriate for a family dinner, but would be appropriate for a steamy little weekend getaway with my husband. The clothes do matter. This makes no sense. There are many outfits that would hit in a shady underground deal involving favors that wouldn't be appropriate for Thanksgiving dinner with the fam. They go outside and he leads her and the cat to his motorcycle. Of course he drives a motorcycle. Actually, no, not of course. I don't even know who this guy is. I don't even know what this guy is. She's like, sorry, how am I going to safely transport Mr. Pointy on this thing? And he's like, I got it. She gives us a little bit more insight into the word on the street about this dude, critter, man, wizard guy. All the rumors she had heard about him made her suspicious, and the gossip surrounding his person was outrageous. He could provide anything if you only sucked his... He served men and women alike and didn't care how moral a request was. He could fulfill over a dozen requests a day, procuring the most unthinkable things that would give somebody the best high with no side effects. Weapons that were as quiet as a whisper and didn't overheat. Diamond chokers and antique artifacts worth millions of dollars. He never served the same person twice. Man, this is choppy. How he does his magic is all a mystery, but everything else about him, I guess, is just common knowledge, which makes no freaking sense. And ruminating on all of this and how she trusts him exactly none, she tries to back out and he won't let her. But he does it in like a nice way. First of all, he whooshes in front of her, Twilight style, and cuts her off.
Ed was very fast.
And talks her off of the ledge, aka out of leaving the deal. I promise a long life for your cat. Come on. He's being kind now when he was just being a cocky douchebag a second ago, and she considers this before she says, swear on your balls. If something happens to him, I get to kick you in the balls as many times as I deem proper. How old is Jennifer? 12? Though I will say that I, one time a few years ago, took a self-defense class, and one whole class period we spent just practicing kneeing attackers in the balls, and it was one of the funnest things I've ever been a part of. He agrees to her terms and was like, would you like to cop a feel first and make sure I have balls for you to smash? I'm still confused. I'm too confused to know if I'm even uncomfortable about this. After passing the cat carrier over to him, she does in fact cop a feel first just to make sure he's got parts, and then he makes out some weird throat noise and she tells us something moved inside his pants and she jumped back with a squeak. Were man parts supposed to behave like this? I know you're a virgin who can't drive, Jen, but yes, it gives me no pleasure to tell you that that is how most of them work. Chapter 3. He straps the cat carrier to the luggage rack on the bicycle. Mr. Pointy better be glad he doesn't have a heart condition or he'd die en route. He then puts a helmet on her and boops her nose. Boop. Hello? She and I and all of you, I assume, are confused at his rapidly changing demeanors with her. 1 minute he's calling her an innocent slut.
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
The next, a nose boop. What is his deal? Curiosity killed the cat, Jen reminded herself in stern tones as Raccoon straddled the bike, his muscular thighs hugging the machine in a way that made her vagina salivate. I hated that. She climbs on it, straddles, you know, how you're supposed to. And she thinks to herself, like, her dress is obviously riding up. And she's like, you know, maybe if we go, like, the speed limit, it won't be so cold to have the wind whipping against me. And phew, he's off in a flash. And she's holding on for dear life. I can only imagine how Mr. Pointy is doing. She vows to nail him to his bike by his ball sack when they arrive. But once the initial shock wore off, it was kind of fun bobbing and weaving in and out of cars. I actually have ridden on the back of a crotch rocket with a friend before. He was going like 90. I'm thankful that I didn't die, but it was quite a rush. 2 out of 10 wouldn't do it again. Not in this economy. Not with healthcare the way that it is. But, you know, when I was 19 and stupid and thought I was invincible, why not? Why not hop on? They arrive at the house in record time. This is her parents' house, I assume. And she frantically hops off the bike to go check on Mr. Pointy, who is just sleeping soundly in his carrier. Sure. I mean, he is magic. So maybe he I don't know. The magic system here is not fully fleshed out so far. And that's fine because we're only in chapter whatever. But I don't really know what's going on. I fear that we may never know. He hops off the bike and he's like, where's my hug at? But instead of a hug, it's a kiss because her family is probably watching out the window and they're supposed to be lovers and she should thank him for the awesome ride. And she's like, awesome ride, my ass. I almost died. Baby, oh man. Baby, I can feel the wet spot you left on my lower back. It soaked right through my jeans, so don't lie to me. This wasn't the worst experience in your life, but I suspect it might have been the most arousing. I keep picturing him as such random things and it's really doing nothing for me. You sick. I can't believe my cat trusts you. And then he says, what can I say? I'm a charmer. Oh, we're having fun. Oh, we are having fun. This is such a fun story, Jennifer. Puns and vague magical systems and weird sexual tension between a Karen and a man named Raccoon. They stroll up to the house and he reminds her that they're boyfriend and girlfriend now. And she's like, I hate you. And he's like, I hate would be great. I have a question. If the word on the street is in full circulation around this town city that he exists and operates out of, and everyone has heard whisperings about this man with the yellow eyes who will grant one-time miracles to people in exchange for favors, and you're bringing him to dinner, wouldn't your family know who this is? As they approach the porch, she's thinking the same things, actually, reminding herself that he's just a psycho, a man, a criminal. Don't you dare fall for him. It's giving Britney Spears criminal. But as soon as the doors open, she's so glad to have him with her. How bad can this family be? Chapter 4, they enter the house. They're greeted by her mom, who, for all intents and purposes, looks like just a conflict-avoidant, frilly, desperate housewife kind of thing. She's got this little ruffly apron on, and she's fine with everything because she's going to ignore it and be polite in spite of it all. Mom, this is my boyfriend. His name is... She stopped, frowning. She couldn't very well call him Raccoon. No one would believe it was a legit name. Howard. There. A nice, respectable name. This is a respectable name. It was my late grandfather's name. How could you do this to me? So like I said, apparently the big issue with her mom is that she just outright denies or ignores things that don't appeal to the reality she has in her head. And I would like to know who's I need to suck in order to make that trade, because I wish that was the only problem I had with my family. He asked her, why did you choose the name Howard of all names? I'm nothing like a Howard. Sir, your real name's Raccoon. Are we doing this? And she starts to answer him that he would look like a Howard if he could, like, maybe, I don't know, wear clean clothes, brush his hair, and then he just steps right up to her face and licked her cheek in one long sweep of his tongue. See, I'm nothing like a Howard. I don't behave like a Howard, and you better believe I don't like a Howard. I don't want to know what a Howard looks like. First of all, this is getting a little too close to home. Howard, name drop, and a terminally ill cat. I don't need this. Second, I would be mortified. Messy, stupid, chaotic family or not, you lick my face like I'm a postage stamp in full display of them. I would be mortified. They take Mr. Pointy back to her old room, which is now a frilly little antique riddled guest room. He asks her name and she says, Jennifer, what's yours? Don't you already know his name? But in response, he says, Howard, which causes her to chuckle. And I'm not gonna lie to you, they got me with that one too. I thought that was pretty funny. Jennifer chuckles too, and they share a little moment in the hallway. And he's like, you're lucky you're hot or I wouldn't be able to rise to the occasion. And she's like, what? And then he goes on some spiel about how it's his duty to bang the daylights out of her in this house today. I don't remember that being in the fine print of the terms, but okay. Do you want it now or later? Later would be better because it would cause maximum discomfort after I've already been introduced to everybody. And she's conflicted because, like, what the crap? Like, I agree. I don't know what's going on either, Jen. It can be now, though. Not now. And not later. Like, you're not even my real boyfriend. Yeah, no, duh. No, duh. This is a business transaction. This is a weird magical favor that you're asking of him in exchange for something. It is transactional. But this prompts him to, again, gently cup her face and say, if this is a problem, we can fix that. Will you be my girlfriend for reals? Okay, he didn't say for reals. I added that. But I don't understand this. This intense sharp right of a mood change for no reason. It makes no sense. He was like 5 minutes ago a shady wish granter in the underbelly of society who was planning on granting her a miracle in exchange for a short sexual favor. He does that all the time. And then all of a sudden he changes the terms and the payment, and now he wants to like date her? Based on what? We don't even know what she looks like. Is she just that hot? Is her cat just that precious? She's confused too, and he goes on to say, will you be my girlfriend? Although I should probably warn you that if we're to be in a monogamous relationship, you'll have to agree to one very special condition. I can only imagine what the special condition is, and I am brimming with anticipation to find out. Sadly, we will have to wait though, because in this sexually charged moment, Jennifer's converted nun sister walks in, catches them in very close proximity, does the cross, calls them sinners, and then runs out of the room screaming for her mother, which I don't know what the point would be there because the mom is going to ignore and avoid it at all costs anyway, but hey, whatever, I'm just going by the text. And Jen's like, I didn't know she converted. She changes her religion like I changed my socks. It has made people break up with her before. Like, she thought she was a witch for a second. She asked my boyfriend at dinner one night if she could borrow some of his blood or something, and he broke up with me. Why does her family have such a hold on her relationship dynamics? Does she spend that much time with them? And if they're this bad, why does she spend that much time with them? For what? I have members of my family that I don't get along with, and I just don't see them. That's how I do that. The nun sister getting freaked out and leaving causes them both to start hysterically laughing to the point of tears at the stupidity of it all. He's clearly having a fun time. I wish I was. And she gets real emo for a sec, and she's like, if you were my real boyfriend, this wouldn't be funny because you'd break up with me too. To which he says, sweetheart, there's no scaring me away. The sooner you accept it, the better. But yes, I intend to have a lot of fun today, starting with this. And then they kiss. Did I miss a few chapters? Where did this come? What happened? Chapter 1 was save my cat and I'll suck your dick. Chapter 2 was scratch that payment. I want a new payment, which is Thanksgiving dinner with your parents. Deal. Chapter 3 was them on the bicycle going to dinner. And now chapter 4 is your family's weird. I'm never leaving you ever. The hell? The damn hell? Chapter 5. So they kiss and it's amazing, unlike anyone she's ever kissed before. He pulls away and his eyes are shining bright gold. I forgot he was the yellow-eyed demon. He kisses her again and things start to escalate, so he puts a leg in between her legs and then says, rock on me, baby, and it's giving Lake.
Timberlake.
My greedy little beast. That's a new one. So she's drying his leg like a dog in heat, and he's watching her, but finally says, I knew it was you. Had to make sure, but from the moment I saw you, I knew. I'm such a lucky man, Jennifer. Oh, good. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get a feasible explanation to all this flim-flammery. She's like, what do you mean? And he's like, we'll make beautiful babies. Get a grip. Get a grip. She goes to the bathroom to freshen up, and when she comes back out, Raccoon is not there. Zoinks! He can't be alone with my family. So she rushes downstairs and finds him in the den or sitting room, whatever, chatting with and charming her skanky aunt with lines like, the beauty gene must run thick in this family. Jen sits on his lap because where else is she supposed to sit? And then Aunt whoever makes a sideways comment like, you look like you have a big appetite. I hope that you're satisfied. And he's like, you have no idea, and then kisses Jen's neck and grows hard beneath her, causing her to blush. And then the aunt doesn't feel like he's picking up what she's putting down, so she makes a not so sideways comment, like this comment is coming from all directions, and they are direct. He seems like a man who would appreciate experience, so call me when my niece bores you. Bitch? Not really. There was a time I would... Anyone, you included, madam. I was not discerning at all. You know, I let all kinds of people me. Young, old, men, women, ugly, beautiful, but those days are over now. There's only one woman I want to... and it will always be her from now on. Thanks for spilling. You're just... What do you mean used to? She walked in to your office approximately 1 hour ago, and now you used to let... You were just doing this multiple times a day with multiple different people. Used to. His response does make the aunt shut up, so win, I guess, but it does cause Jennifer's brother, Mark, to rise off of the couch and threaten Raccoon in the most Leave It to Beaver way, or at least that's how it read to me. You talking about my sister, pal? Yes, it said pal. Listen up, pally. Pally. Unless you want a knuckle sandwich, you better keep your hands to yourself. Why, I oughta. That's me. I added that. But that, like, despite Jennifer going on to tell us that her brother, like, is constantly in trouble with the law and carries knives around and is a fan of MMA, like, he still is giving the beeve energy. Yes, I'm talking about Jennifer. As a matter of fact, I'm sporting a hard-on for her right now. Wanna see? Oh my God. Ugh. She's worried that Mark will Raccoon because of the aforementioned knife carrying thing. We get it. Your family runs people off. This is just another opportunity for me to be like, is it not time for a no contact? Why are you around them? He's like, get up and fight me, Pally. Bring it on. And Jen's like,
no, people. Let's be smart and bring it off.
Mark, you need to go walk around the block and cool off. But apparently Mark is not allowed to walk around the block unsupervised anymore because last time he did it, he kicked a dog. What a sweet guy. What a sweet fam. Raccoon's like, fine, let's go. And then throws him up against a wall and chokes him a little bit and tells him, you are not going to ruin this day. You are going to be happy about this meal and you're going to help your mom clean up. She spent all day on this. You got it? Then mom shows up with drinks. Anyone want a mimosa? And Raccoon volunteers Mark as tribute to go and help his mom finish up with dinner. Her father's in the room, by the way. He just is reading the paper and ignoring everyone. And once again, I want to know who I need to get in touch with in order to trade my problematic family for these people. They just ignore everything. Grass is always greener. So I'll leave it alone. The dad's still sitting there ignoring everybody. So Raccoon says loudly, let's go upstairs. I want to baste your turkey. Alrighty, that is where the script ends and the real fun can begin. I just felt like experiencing the last 5 chapters and an epilogue together would really be a bonding experience for the holiday season. So chapter 6, her nearly devout nun sister yells after them as they go upstairs and calls them a sinner and says, thou shalt not before marriage, bitch, thou shalt not say the word thou shalt not be obnoxious in the living room. Pipe down. They get in the room and Jen is obviously anxious as he closes the door and locks it behind him. And he's like, do you need to cry? He holds her and strokes her hair. What is this? What is this? Somebody needs to explain now. Jen gasps, surprised yet again. He was actually being considerate after he was propositioned by her aunt, insulted by her sister, ignored by her father, and attacked by her brother. Raccoon wanted to know how she was feeling. And she's like, no, I don't need to cry, but if you want to leave, I can't blame you. You should both leave. As someone who has done this with her family a couple times, it is difficult to cut those ties and to go no contact. I understand that. But I hate it when people complain about a problem and then do nothing to fix it. So don't speak to them. What are we doing? He reassures her some more, like, what I said down there was true, Jennifer. It's you from here on out. I'm off the market. And she's like, just not sure how to handle any of this. And so he's finally like, baby, I can hear your mind rolling around. Shut it down. We've got stuff to do. Like what? What do you mean, like what? We need to baste your turkey. Will you like it better if you undress yourself or if I do it? I can tear your panties off with my teeth if that's your kind of thing. She's a virgin who can't drive. I don't know. I've never... Look, I don't know what you... Wait. You're actually a virgin? Yeah, Raccoon. I am, actually. She starts, like, blushing and feeling a little bit embarrassed. He's like, oh, no, baby, it's okay. I was just surprised. You grabbed my balls and all, so I thought, never mind. This changes nothing for me. I want you like crazy. That's a word, isn't it? But why? Why do you want me suddenly so much? We've barely met. Is this some sort of game, some stupid bet, or I don't know, a challenge, or nothing like that? It's just that you're perfect for me. Sir, you're gonna have to have more than that. I'm gonna need a little more from you, Rack City shit. It's just that you're perfect for me, or in other words, you have the right set of genes. We are compatible, and that makes me absolutely crazy about you. Everything in my body, all my senses, everything points at you right now. You're the one, sweetheart. I finally found you. That doesn't make sense. Humans can't tell someone is genetically compatible or whatever you're saying it is. Oh no, oh bother. Humans can't, but I can. What does that mean? He's like rubbing all in her hair and stuff, and she's like, what do you mean you can? I'm not entirely human, that's why. Go on. That explosive truth was followed by another long silence, during which Raccoon peppered her head with soft kisses. The thing was, Jen wasn't even that surprised. He could do impossible things. He was called the Wizard.
Nobody beats me because I'm the Wiz. Yes, I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz.
Oh no. So it made sense for him to be something more than human. It does, but I need to know the logistics of it all. She says okay, and then takes a big whiff of him for some reason. She's like, he doesn't smell like magic. Okay. Buy him some Aqua di Gio or cool water. That's what all the boys in my high school wore. It smelled so good. He simply smelled clean and male with a subtle hint of cologne. It was a delicious smell, and Jen could see herself secretly sniffing him multiple times a day like an addict. Okay, I thought you said that he didn't look like a Howard, but he could if he brushed his hair and wore nice clothes. Now you're telling me he smelled clean and male with a scent of cologne. So does he take care of himself or not? I'm a little confused. I'm a lot confused. She asked him, so what are you? Right now, I'm a man in a sort of predicament because you deserve all the explanations, but I'm so hard, it's difficult to think clearly. Is that what it is? Can't really explain in my current state. So we could, but it isn't fair to you without explaining first, or I could have a wank in your bathroom, which sounds very unappealing when you're right here. You need to do whatever you need to do so that you can give me some answers, okay? I'm going to be sitting right here, and I'm going to be waiting on you. Jen inhaled sharply. The thought of him pumping in his fist, doing it because of her, awakened the arousal she had felt before in the office and on his bike and when he kissed her. Oh, boy. Well, there we go. Fair warning, he's going to talk about STIs and stuff. I know my dick been all over the place, but I'm clean. Part of what I am. I'll never get gonorrhea, hard though I might try. Why are you trying? Why would you be... No. Sorry for spoiling the mood, but I thought you should know that. I didn't expect to need a serious cap because I thought that this was just going to be a silly, goofy little time, but serious cap. I don't know where mine is. People keep taking it from me. It shouldn't ruin the mood. Talking about your bill of health and your test results and getting tested regularly and sharing those results with your partner shouldn't ruin the mood. You should be doing that. You should be able to have those conversations because you care about each other and respect each other enough to want to be safe and communicate thoroughly. First of all. And then second of all, I don't like the way that this is spoken about. I'm clean. It's not very, it perpetuates a lot of harmful misunderstandings and stereotypes and whatever about people who have or are living with STDs or STIs or whatever the case may be. I'll never get gonorrhea, hard though I might try. I don't think anyone is out here trying. It's just really callously discussed, and I don't love that. So for anybody watching who has had, you're not dirty because of it, and talking about it with your partners should come with a level of respect that won't ruin the mood. I just hate it when this pops up in anything, and so I just wanted to take a moment, talk that through with you. I guess we can take our serious cap off and dive back into this atrocity. Oh my god. So Jen is in her head and she's like, he didn't spoil the mood with all of this though, because I'm still imagining the idea of him having a nice time with himself in the bathroom. And so she lets that thought kind of carry her away and lead her into this next little section. Or I could do what I came to see you for in the first place. I even read a manual in preparation, you know. I actually studied how to do a blowy, so I guess I could do that now. Wonderful. We love a girl who does her homework, I guess. I don't like this book. But I can't be the only one getting off. We have to do you too. 69. Not a 69. Just slowly, okay? Of course, that will be just as well. I'll show you what I can do. Why I needed a blowy to make the things people wanted. On that note, is there something you would like? Anything? Medicine for Mr. Pointy. Listen to me right now. He's already gonna heal the cat, so he won't need medicine anymore, right? So let's branch out. And he says the same thing. He's like, he's already healed, you dunce. You can take him to the vet and check if you want. He doesn't need medicine. Is there anything else I can get you?
If I only had a brain.
I'm not sure. My toaster broke. I haven't gotten around to buying a new one yet. A new toaster. Got it. Is he about to sploosh out a toaster? And how would that work if... No. So they start kissing and he grabbed her bum and blah, blah, blah. She remembered what she was supposed to be doing, so she gets to work, and he's like, damn, it really is you. Who was she supposed... Okay. Ew. I hate this, just so we're clear, and I'm gonna make you hate it with me. She moved slightly back and just looked at it. So this was a It looks so fascinating just laying there in her hand, positively dwarfing it with its size, and she simply stared until it twitched so hard it practically jumped and she squeaked in surprise. So I was assuming that she's grown because she's living on her own and she just goes back to her family for dinner and stuff. And it's like her old room in the house and her prom boyfriend and when she went to college. So I was assuming she was like early to mid 20s. Okay. And even still, you know, it's okay to be a virgin in your early to late 20s. You do whatever you want. I don't care what you're up to. However, I don't like hearing a naive girl's firsthand account of seeing a peen for the first time. I don't want to. Oh, no. Get on your knees, sweetheart, and daddy will get you a new toaster. Well, that's a new one. That is a new one. You're not daddy. No. Okay. No, I don't want the daddy. I don't want the toaster. I would like to leave. Get out, leave. She just laughs at this though, because she's also just like, she's like, is that supposed to be hot? I'm sorry. And he's like, yeah, I was, but we'll find the kind of dirty talk that works for you. None. Please shut up. And then he says, for now though, suck my pretty please. And she gets nervous, because of course she does. And then he's like, just talk to me through it if you need to. If you get nervous, it's okay. We can stop if it's too much. Which honestly, I have nothing to say about that. That's how it should be. If you're trying something that's new or new to your partner or new to you both and they're nervous, you should respect them enough to be like, hey, listen, if this is too much, we can go at your own pace or we don't have to do it at all. You just let me know. Oh my God. Okay. So I let you in on the lovely experience of her seeing his for the first time, right? But now we're going to see the meat and potatoes. And I'm taking you with me. She knelt carefully in front of him and yes, stared at his some more. From this vantage point, she could see his sack hanging low. It's covered in dark hair. It seemed big, like maybe it would bump painfully around when he ran. But then what did Jen know? She'd never seen a ball sack up close. She gave his head a tentative lick and drew back, frowning. Is it supposed to taste like apple cider? I always change my flavor to something more pleasant. Seems only polite. Is apple cider okay? She says that it'll do for now and just launches at him, I guess. He's enjoying himself. We're not gonna do all of this. There's a lot going on and I will not. While he's approaching the finish line, he requests her hold on to the sack so he can show her and let her feel what is going on. She is, and the size and shape and feeling of it is changing in her hand. His sack grew to the size and shape of a toaster. Honestly, A for creativity. I never have had any sort of thought about something like this before. The fact that another living being has had it, not only did they have it, they wrote it into a book. A for creativity. So he arrives and then has to pass said toaster out through. But the upside is that it's a little mint green toaster. Oh my God, so cute. It's going to go perfect with all of her stuff. She's like, what the F just happened? I would also like to know, but do I? Maybe not. Chapter 7, she's still like stunned into silence and disbelief. And he's like, I'll explain it to you later, but like, can I get you to arrive first? Like, whatever. And she's like, can we honestly think about something other than sex for a minute? A toaster just came out of your... He requests that she sit on his face and tell him and talk to him throughout so that he can know what she likes and what she doesn't, which again is not bad. Good for you, good for them, good for y'all. And she's a little, confused on why this is working for her the way that it is, because before she always needed a solid relationship to let her boyfriend even touch her boobs. As it turned out, she just needed to meet someone who really turned her on. That does help, Jennifer. Good job. So then she sits down, she pops a squat. It's going well. She arrives and it's fantastic and he's proud of himself. She's a little embarrassed. He's like, don't hide from me. I want to look at you all the time and you should know that I'm hard again because that was hot coming from me like that. I'd love to get your mouth on me again or You like my little virgin slut. But I also want to see what kind of impact your screams made downstairs. You were delightfully loud. And then she's like, oh crap, Mom probably brought out the appetizers. We should get down there. And then they hear some sort of blood-curdling scream from downstairs. God, what on earth could be happening downstairs that's worse than what's happening up? Chapter 8. They stumble downstairs. She's like pulling her dress down and into place. I don't know why we couldn't have taken 17 more seconds upstairs to do that, but sure. And she's like, what happened? Apparently their mother had a nervous breakdown. She'd never heard her mom scream like that, not once during the 25 years of Jen's life. So she's 25. And she's like, so this is what a looks like? And the source of her frantic scream is that Mr. Pointy has come downstairs and started gnawing and destroying the turkey, which is the terrible thing, right? We're sad that he ruined dinner, but that means his appetite is back. Yay, he is feeling better. Honestly, good. I'm glad for that, I guess. I don't know how I feel. I'm a little bit dissociating at the moment. And she's trying to calm her mom down. She's like, Mom, we can just cut those things away. It's not going to be a big deal. And her mom's like, everything's ruined. And Jen's feeling really bad about this. Like, obviously she's, again, still happy that her cat is feeling a little bit better, but she's never seen her mom like this. And she's so upset about it. And Raccoon holds her and strokes her hair and is like, you know what? We're going to fix this. We're going to make it right. Don't worry, Mama Jennifer Karen. We're going to have a turkey here in 10 minutes. Good as new, and you can serve it up and it'll be perfect. How? Pray tell, how are we gonna get that turkey? I think I know how. I don't want to know. He grabs a pan that's oven safe and says, come on, baby. And then they run into the guest room and Jen's like, you're not saying what I think you're saying. You're smart, baby. I think you guessed correct. But how can she? And they will eat, and it comes out, and he tells her, just pop it in the oven and all traces of my will be baked away. If it still troubles you, don't eat the skin. The rest of the turkey will never be in direct contact with my bits, so it will be perfectly good to eat. Great. Then it gets real. I feel like you're missing the big picture is that I can't let my family eat something that came out of your junk. And he is not holding back. Why not? They treat you like shit. I completely understand why you didn't want to come here in the first place. Your family's f***ed up. And frankly, I don't think they deserve my superb turkey. But since you feel responsible for this, I'm gonna save you. Tell her, Rack. Tell her. It's Rack City here, bitch.
Rack City shit.
So in order to do this, he needs to be standing. So she's got to drop it down low again and get this turkey cooking. And then she says that she has a request. You said you can change your flavor. Could you do like hot buttered rum? I really like it. Maybe it's just because I don't like hot buttered rum. Yeah, let's go with that. That's what it is. He says, of course. Anything for you, sweetheart. And I really mean anything. If you were into pegging, I would let you. That's how much I want this to work. All you have to do is ask and it's yours. She probably doesn't know what that means, first of all. And second of all, why is that like the farthest line that you're going to go to? It's completely normal to like things. That's not even... Let's just keep reading. That was all for nothing anyway, because she's like, is that what I think it is? I don't think I'd be into that. And he's like, thank goodness. Okay. And before she opens up so that they can make a real turkey, she's like, wait, what's your name? Your real name. Watch it be Raccoon. And he's like, I hate you. Y'all want to guess? It's a name. It is a name. But I would like for you to, log your guesses below. You ready? Thornton. Told you I'm not a Howard. How is Thornton better than Howard? So then she, and he's like, yes, keep going. Woo. And she's so hot at this that she has to service both him and herself. And he sees this. And he's like, are you? Well, now you'll have to arrive first because I want to see it. I want to see it. She does. And then after she arrives, she gets back to work focusing all of her energy on him. And he's like, F, you're beautiful. Almost there. So heavy. Yeah, it's like an 18-pound turkey. Stroking over the thin, taut skin of his scrot. I need to know how many times the word scrot is in this book. Twice. If I had a nickel... I'd have 2 nickels. When he's approaching the finish line, she withdraws him and aims it over the baking dish that they brought up from the kitchen. Isn't that great? There it goes. The sack sort of compressed. The turkey squeezed its way out of his, falling with a wet splat into the pan. I feel like this is as good a time as any to be like, hey, if you like what I'm doing here and you see the hurt and pain in my eyes and how my soul left my body about 3 chapters ago and you want to support the work that I do here on this channel, I have a Patreon and a bindery where you get early access to horrible videos like this, bonus content like reading vlogs and lifestyle vlogs and other things that are kind of fun. And it helps me. It helps me. I appreciate you if you are signed up. I love all of my patrons and bindery people. You guys are swell. Just like he was when that turkey was in there. All right, chapter 9. Jen stared at the turkey with her mouth hanging open. It looked picture perfect. Well, that's good. As if it had come straight out of a culinary photo shoot, the skin was golden brown and crispy. The meat looked juicy and plump. It was a large turkey, too. It could probably feed 2 families, and there would still be leftovers. Oh, wow, Jen. Your boyfriend's ball sack is incredible. She smells it, and she's like, you know what? It smells real. It smells good, and I can't really wait to see my family eat it. Oh, that's why he has to give people what they want. I understand now. I wish that I did not. So she starts acting a little weird when he's like, all right, you ready to go back downstairs? And he gets kind of freaked out. He's like, listen, you wouldn't be the first girl to find this shit repulsive, so I understand, but please, like, tell me. Just talk to me about it. Like, tell me what's going on. I didn't make you upset with me. You're not disgusted by me. I am. But thankfully I'm not in this book. And she walks over to him quietly and says that was the kindest, most considerate thing anyone's ever done for me. Thank you. I find you very attractive. And after dinner, we'll go to my place so you can be properly in a nicer setting. I'm so sorry, but I have to know. When you're doing it in the stereotypical biblical way, is it always going to have to be a pullout? Otherwise, you'll end up with like an exfoliator scrub in your box. She says all that, and then she's like, you know, he felt like a stranger like 5 minutes ago, and now it feels like I've known him forever. It's strange what bonding over someone splooshing out a turkey dinner for your family will do for you. So they take the turkey back downstairs to her mom, who looks confusion at them, which I would have questions. I would need you to tell me where the hell you just whipped up a whole turkey from my guest room. And Jen tells him, like, you can go in the living room and see if there's any mimosas left or maybe some of my dad's scotch. And he's like, oh no, baby, I'm not getting tipsy tonight. I'm going to be on my A game for you. And they're leaving right after dinner, apparently. So, woohoo! And he, like, grabs her ass in the middle of the room where all of her family is. And for the first time ever, she doesn't care what they think. You got here. And that's what matters, right? Rose, shut up. Practice whatever faith you want and leave me out of it. Mark, calm the down. You're not fit to protect anyone's virtue. Rita, good for you. I want to have your libido when I'm 60. Just keep your paws off my man and we'll be good. Now, are there any mimosas left? And then she looks at her dad and she's like, Dad, we're going to drink all your scotch unless you say some words to us today. So then he finally puts his paper down and says, nice to meet you, Howard. You have to threaten to drink all your dad's booze for him to speak to you? Just don't go back. Just don't go to any more Thanksgivings. This is so stupid. She takes some sips of her mimosa and she's comforted by Raccoon's presence. And she's just thankful because at this point, nobody's been arrested. No one's fighting. Jen's mom calls out from the kitchen and is like, some help in here. And so Mark like looks at Raccoon and then scurries off like a little bitch that he is. And he returns carrying a platter holding Raccoon's turkey. They all gather at the table and everyone is silent and her mom's about to start carving, but she's like, wait! She like looks at the turkey and is like, you know what? I cannot let them eat it without letting them know where it came from. And this turkey was made in Howard's ball sack and came out through his, but it's okay. Mom baked it in the oven afterward and I'm told high heat should have removed all traces of its penile origins. So dig in. Happy Thanksgiving. Raccoon chuckles at this. Rose, the nun sister, you made food out of nothing? So it was like a miracle or something? What church do you belong to? Can you teach me? Bitch. And then Rita, thirsty as she be, well, you can carve me a piece of that. Mark stood and left the room, so that's fun. And Jen's father hid behind his newspaper once again. Her mom just starts carving the turkey again. Mark is yelling in another room, venting out his frustrations. They all started eating, and it was delicious. God, I wish this was the end, but it's not. Chapter 10. So they're washing dishes, I guess. The meal is over. Everyone's satisfied. Ugh, I wish I was. She carries on a conversation with Rita and Rose as Raccoon is giving her a hand job under the table or right out in the middle. I don't know where they are. I am so dead inside. And she's getting so aroused that she needs to excuse herself because things are running down her legs. Is it gravy? Rose is like, you should get like a good hobby that's like going to enrich you spiritually. And she's like, yeah, I should. You're right. Howard, come and help me grow spiritually. So then they go back to the guest bedroom. I thought they were leaving after dinner. What's this all about? Raccoon's like, I couldn't wait. We have to do this now. And she's like, yeah, I'm not doing it my first time here, and I will never do it while my cat is watching. Since her apartment's closer, they head there instead. She's not wearing underwear. I don't know when that happened exactly, but at one point he doesn't give her underwear back. And she's like, oh my God, I'm going to have it frozen off if we ride on this bike. And I don't want to put my other ones on now. It feels kind of weird. I'd rather have a new pair. And Raccoon says, I have a better idea. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know what was coming. Before Jen could ask what he meant by that, Raccoon unbuttoned his jeans and lowered the waistband over his ass. At this moment, I thought he was about to shit out some underwear. He turned so Jen could see his bare lower back and a hint of his buttocks. Suddenly, a bushy black and ginger tail exploded out of the place just above his crack. You have a tail? Oh, right. This is what they were talking about when they said fur in the content warnings. I got more. Wow, great. What other tricks can you do? So she plays with his tail because it's so fluffy.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
And he's like, you better be careful. It's an erogenous zone at the base, and y'all do it right here with you on the bike if you don't get careful. He puts the helmet back on her and tucks his tail up against her, and it tickles. I'm having fun with all of this. It felt strange to have fur against her vulva, but Jen had to admit the tail did its job. What if you're allergic? She's like, my house is right up here. You can go park the bike and I'll get the door open. But when she goes up there, the keypad is all busted and she doesn't have a key. So she's like, hey, I guess we're not getting in there tonight. We can go to your place. And he's like, no, I can make us a key. Don't worry. I can make us one quick, fast, and in a hurry because you make me as turned on as a teenager. So they go into like the alley behind her apartment, I guess, and she drops it down low for him so that she can get a key for her apartment. Some people stumble onto them in the alley though, and Raccoon's like, keep going or I'll eat your face off. And since he probably is actually a raccoon, I think he might do that. So y'all better keep walking. And she does what she's supposed to do, and then he pulls out and she hears the metal clang of a key hitting the pavement. Chapter 11. So they're in the elevator going up to her apartment, and he's like, we could do this or we could do that, but I think I'd rather just cuddle you in bed and then explain all of this because I feel like it's time and you deserve that. She's laying there with him and she's thinking about Thanksgiving that they just had with her family, and he survived her family's Thanksgiving, but what could that really prove? He might leave too, because there was that one guy, Tommy, who was perfectly lovely, and then he never called her again after her stupid aunt molested him. Yeah.
Hello from the void. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but I have to reiterate, why does she keep bringing people around these family members? Her brother is violent and collects knives and attacks people and tries to stab them. Her aunt flirts and molests people. This is a time for you to disengage, deactivate, unsubscribe, block people. Why are we doing this?
And she's like, you're supposed to explain everything to me. Spill. So he does. And I have nothing, no expectations. Let's just do it together, shall we? My great-grandfather was a tanuki in Japan. A Japanese raccoon dog. An actual 100% mythical tanuki. Do you know what they are? Now we do. They look like ordinary raccoon dogs, a Japanese species very similar to a raccoon, but they are actually highly intelligent magical creatures. A tanuki can become a cat, a bicycle, or a man. And now, as we go on this tale, I need you to remember one very important detail. They are not animals. They are sentient. Their intelligence rivals and often surpasses the human one. Got it? And she nods. So it was passed down through the lines, and so obviously his grandfather was 100% tanuki, and so it diluted over time. That's how genetics work. And his dad didn't know that he was anything like this until he met a woman that he wanted to marry, and one night while they were doing it, he had in his mind that he was going to get a ring for her. And so after arriving at his destination, he realized that it wasn't inside of her, it was a ring. So they had to go to the hospital and a doctor had to take it out of her. He's like, yeah, my last girlfriend couldn't keep up. I need to do it like 10 times a day or whatever. And I just I just don't know. I had a girlfriend, she couldn't keep up, even though I showered her with gifts, whatever she wanted, designer clothes, jewelry. I shot out anything she asked, but then she got tired. At the end, she would just do it with her hand while watching TV because it came so tedious. She developed carpal tunnel syndrome from it. My God. She left me for some perfectly normal bloke with a sluggish libido who apparently makes her very happy. And I opened my business. We love an entrepreneurial story in the brink of despair, don't we? Heartbreak and misery and woe leads us to when one door opens. I don't know what I'm saying. So he propositions her with the same thing, like, be my girlfriend for real. You can do this for me every day and I'll give you whatever you want. You'll have all the gifts and blah, blah, blah. Save your sales pitch. I'm already sold. Yes, and yes, I will help you with your little problem, I promise. Even if we fight, I won't deny you that one thing. Just shut your sleazy business because I will not share you with anything. Done. I'm not sharing you either. Okay, baby, we're done talking. Questions, concerns, none? Perfect. Let's pop your cherry. I forgot about that. Oh my God, this has more chapters? Son of a bitch. Chapter 12. So they're doing it. She takes her dress off. They start canoodling and he kisses her stomach and is like, this is where our babies will grow. Okay. Just taking it all in. And so is she. So they're doing it, right? And everything's going well. He picks up the pace. He is approaching the finish line. And he pulls out. A flurry of bright, shimmering pieces of paper shot out of his in spurts and gently floated down onto the bed, covering Jen's and stomach in a rainbow of colors. It's like the Eras tour. Jen took a piece of golden foil and stared at it, laughter bubbling inside her. You made confetti! Congratulations on your deflowering, princess. After Jen stopped laughing, she spooned him, pressing the front of her naked body to his tail. She buried her face in his fur and drifted off, happy and secure. We love to see it, I guess. Her last thought was a quiet prayer to the divine force that had tangled her and Raccoon's fate. Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you today. Thank you tomorrow. Thank you always. Epilogue. I don't want an epilogue. She's yelling at Mr. Pointy because he's leaving her. Come back, you traitor. I was willing to get chlamydia to save your life, you freaking freak. She's curled up in a pile of blankets on the couch when Raccoon walks in because she's on her period and her cramps are trying to kill her. And the cat won't be her hot water bottle. Rats. So he's like, my tail could be your hot water bottle. And she's like, I'd rather some hot buttered rum with whipped cream. After he arrives again and fills up a cup with hot buttered rum with whipped cream and she starts sipping on it. He wraps his tail around her stomach and they cuddle up on the couch together. And the taste of the hot buttered rum was orgasmic. Happy Thanksgiving. Then we have a little note at the end. Thank you for reading. I know Raccoon kept teasing that hate scene, but it didn't fit in the book. I wrote it though, and you can download it here for free. I will not be doing that. So we're done. And I wish to God, any God that may be listening, that I had a good, concise sum up of my experience with this. But really, honestly, I do not. I don't want to stay in this world any longer than I have to. So I will simply say it's a no from me. I did not like this. It was not very fun because the writing was so clunky and disjointed. The plot was also disjointed. Like, why do you care that they eat the turkey even though they're horrible to you? It sounds like you're in an abusive relationship with your family. Set some boundaries, get some distance. Maybe don't go over there and let them offend and hurt you. Maybe you're grown, stay away from them. I know it's easier said than done, I understand that, but this is ridiculous and I couldn't let that go. The magic system was stupid also, and it wasn't revealed how it still doesn't make any sense. And what did the Tanuki do to deserve to be brought into this? I think that that's a cute little guy, and he didn't deserve this. Did he? Did I deserve this? Did you? Did any of us? The whole plot was boring and I didn't care about any of it. Like, the only thing I cared about was that the cat lived and the cat lived. So brava. And then he's like, I knew you were the one as soon as you walked in, but you didn't though. You thought her cat was dead. You didn't know that her cat was alive inside the carrier, but somehow you knew that her genetic makeup was a perfect complement to yours upon seeing her. That's not true. The cheesy one-liners weren't even fun either. Like, let's go baste your turkey. That makes no sense. She is not a turkey. I get that it's Thanksgiving, so woo, we love a pun, but I think I made better puns in here when I told you that the synopsis was a lot to digest. I'm biased, but I feel like, let's go baste your turkey was just something stupid you said just to say something stupid. I'm getting a little upset. I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was like dumb. It's silly, goofy little read if you want to read something short and on theme for the month of November. But I did not enjoy this, and I actually have a little bit of a headache now. So I give Full Sack by Layla Faye 1 star. It wasn't even funny, just like a haha, this is so silly. It was just unenjoyable. I didn't enjoy it. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope that it got you into the festive holiday mood. If nothing else, gave you a little chuckle. I'm always really bad at wrapping this stuff up, but I do appreciate you being here. If you liked this video in any capacity, please don't forget to like the video and maybe share it with a friend. I mean, I understand that this isn't a video you could just share with everybody, but if you have a friend that's weird in the same way we are, then maybe they'll enjoy it and you can share it. And I'm thankful for you. That's also on theme, isn't it? What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for each and every one of you that watches my videos and engages with me and leaves comments. I'm thankful for everybody who shows up for the live premieres and chats with me along the way. I'm thankful for my Discord community, my patrons, my Bindery members, the people who are signed up here as channel members. You all are supporting me doing this, and it means a lot to me. And a special thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I hope you'll follow the link and get you a free trial. It's fun to learn. I like learning. Thank you. I love you. You don't have to say it back. And here's some beautiful bean footage for you because I think we've all earned it, don't you? Vocal exercises. Ma. Hey, Beans. Hey, Beans. He's in a mood today, so I'm going to leave him alone. See you in the next one. Bye.